Welcome to another edition of Frenchie's Friends Feature Friday, special Saturday edition. As I told you guys, we are in Sonoma, Alexander Valley at Hawk's Vineyard. And of course, it's a pleasure to be with the owner, the winemaker, and farmer, Jake Hawks, who does it all here. Thanks for letting us come and spend some time at your incredible facility, incredible vineyard, and drink some amazing red wine. It's been a pleasure. And so I wanted to ask you, how many vineyards do you actually have in this area?
We farm 3 vineyards in Alexander Valley. Okay. My family started here in the early 70s on the ranch I grew up on down in the south end of the valley, and then over the course of the next 20 years bought and developed another couple of places.
So you started in making wine in what, 2002, 2003?
Yeah, we grew grapes and sold grapes to other wineries for the first 30 years. So from from 1972 to 2002, we farmed and sold fruit. And then in 2002, my dad and mom and I went into business making wine.
So I was introduced to our mutual friend Marco. We had incredible drinks last night, by the way. But he has given this wine to our family over the last couple of years, and it's been probably the best red I've had. And when you first started making wine, what was your ultimate goal? Was it to come up with an incredible cab, 100% Cabernet too, right, by the way?
No, to be frank, we're farmers who make wine, and I think that sometimes in the world of wine I can kind of get lost. I think that a lot of what you experience as a consumer in wine is the part of wine that is sold, and I think that a lot of the time it's sold as a luxury product rather than an agricultural product.
Yeah.
And what I mean is, when you're a farmer, you're growing things for a living. That's what you're doing. And when we started the wine business, what we were really doing is just figuring out a way for us to continue to be able to live here and farm the land that we love. So it was another way to get our wares to market.
What's the biggest challenge, or what has the biggest challenge been once you're able to come up with this Cabernet, to keep it consistent or to continue to keep it to your expectations over the years?
Yeah, so I didn't know that we were going to do 100% Cabernet when we started, but my dad really loves Cabernet Sauvignon, and one of the things I wanted to do was make something that was simple and direct and comprehensible. And simple doesn't necessarily mean that the way that it tastes or smells is simple. It means that the way that it's made is simple. For me, drinking wine is an educational thing, and I want people to know what they're tasting rather than to feel mystified by it. So it's 100% Cabernet Sauvignon, partly so that you can, as the consumer, can get to know something about Cabernet Sauvignon and about the place that it's grown. But what that means is that there is variation from vintage to vintage. One of the advantages of blending is that you can try to blend for consistency.
Okay.
You can make it a little bit softer in a year where it tends to be maybe a little bit more tannic. You can make it a little bit more tannic in a year when it tends to be soft. When you're making 100% varietal wines that are representations of the vineyard and the vintage, they're going to be different from year to year. So Hawk's wines are different from year to year. Just hopefully we try to keep them from sucking.
That's a good way to put it. How do you? Well, that being said, I've never had a glass of wine that's sucked before from Hawks. But you kind of mentioned getting it to market. How do you get your product to market into the consumer's hands so they get aware of it?
Well, when I started, I filled up my Mazda 66 and drove around the country selling wine to grocery stores and restaurants and whoever would buy it. And these days, we're pretty much all wine club direct.
Yeah.
So either you hear about it from a friend.
Yep.
And get it through the mail, call us up and get it through the mail, or you just happen to stumble into one of our tasting rooms.
So what are you pouring in your tasting rooms this weekend? What can we expect coming by?
We always pour at least 2 Cabernets. So right now we're pouring the Alexander Valley Cabernet, which I think is what you've got the red winery.
The red winery, yeah.
Yeah, so we always pour the Alexander Valley Cabernet, which is right now it's a 2017 Alexander Valley Cabernet. And it's 100% Cabernet Sauvignon. That's a blend of fruit from our 3 different vineyards. And then alongside that, we'll always pour one of our 3 different single vineyard Cabernets. So we make the Alexander Valley, and then we make an individual 100% cab from each of the 3 estate vineyards. That a Chardonnay, and a Merlot. Everything grown and produced by us.
I love it. And finally, so this is 4th of July weekend. Of course, I love my red wine with a steak or a tri-tip or whatever it may be. What do you pair? What do you like to pair with your wines?
Well, my wife was born on the 4th of July, so I'm
Really?
cooking for her birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday to her, yes.
I'm gonna do grilled rack of lamb, and I think that pairs particularly well with our red winery Cabernet.
All right. Well, Jake, thanks again for having us. It's been a pleasure. Happy 4th of July. Happy birthday to your wife tomorrow. Work hard, play hard, laugh hard in 2021. Drink great wine by Hawks, of course, and always enjoy safely, everyone.
Thanks, y'all.